What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news that happened in the scale world of RCs over the last week. This week, we've got a number of topics. Let's jump right into them. The very first one is going to be a new release from Axial. It's a small release, literally, and these are a new set of paddle tires for the Yeti Juniors. Just a simple paddle tire setup. Now, Yeti Juniors are four-wheel drive, but this has got more of a sand tire front style rather than paddles all the way around. I imagine that having paddles all the way around would help still, rather than those front tires, which are just going to spin. But I also think that the drain that these paddle tires are going to have on those tiny little Yeti Junior electronics are also going to add quite a bit of strain as it is. Probably going to need to beef up that power system if you're planning on running these things in the sand. You're thinking about heading out to the dunes, the beach, got your Yeti Junior, throw a set of these tires on and rip across the sand. I'll put links to where you can find those tires in the description below. Our next story is a teaser from Tamiya, and this is a Volvo A60W hauler, and this is a big heavy equipment style vehicle. This is a teaser, and from what is shown, they're gonna put this on one of their existing 6x6 platforms, which is where my excitement for this vehicle starts to then wane. Now, it'll be interesting to see how they make the body or what it's going to be made out of, and really just how it's going to fit on that existing 6x6 platform that they have. That's not a very scale platform and doesn't function like this full-size Volvo hauler would function, being that it's an articulating setup. The photo that they were actually using to tease this product was of the full-size version, or a version very close to it. It was an A60H instead of an A60W or something along those lines. Either way, we'll kind of sit back and wait for the official release on this product, see what Tamiya came up with. Today, or tonight when I'm filming this, which is Monday, Axial posted a new teaser showing what appears to be a new or re-released version of the Axial SMT10. We're just going off of some very basic tire tracks in some dirt, which would be very reminiscent of the old BKT licensed tires that Axial had on the SMT10. And it would, just granted it's just dirt, but it looks similar to like what you would expect a Monster Jam Arena style, look to have. I've heard and we've seen that this is supposed to be coming back. I'm guessing that's what we're going to see. I'm filming this on Monday. By Tuesday, there could be full information out on this. So I'll post up the information that I can find tonight if there is anything beyond the Facebook and Instagram posts that they had made, and I'll put it in the description below. I'm sure though that when it is fully released, you guys will be flooded with information on this. What will be interesting to see is what direction this vehicle took. Will it be basically a relaunch of mainly the existing platform, either just with a different body, possibly not with Monster Jam licensing, or possibly with Monster Jam licensing again, as we have seen Horizon posting pictures with and working with some of the Monster Jam drivers again. So maybe we'll see one of those vehicles on there. That's a possibility. Then the other questions are, what is the actual truck going to be? Did they retool this whole thing up in one of the other factories that they've been using, such as the Axial Capra was in an all new factory, or the Yeti Junior was in an all new factory? The Yeti Junior was a product that Axial had already tooled up when owned by Great Plains, and then retooled up completely in an all new facility through Horizon. If they did go with a new factory, there's a possibility that we'll see significant changes, because if they're making all new molds, they could be making a huge redesign. Now, when I say huge redesign, that could mean a lot of things. They may be looking at trying to keep as much backwards compatibility as possible. So maybe we don't see, hardly any changes to the actual components inside of an axle or mounting points on an axle. Who knows? There's just a lot of possibilities there that we've seen with some of the routes that Horizon has been taking, some of these platforms that they've been working with. The biggest question of it all is, will they have improved durability on the SMT10? It was a project that definitely had durability issues. Monster trucks are made to be hucked and, just beat on. And that was definitely not something that the previous SMT10 was really capable of doing in its box stock condition. So the possibilities of what we could see could be anything from a new body on the old platform to a largely redesigned platform, and the reality may be somewhere in the middle. Then there's the whole question of what the pricing will be. The previous SMT10 came out at a fairly high price tag, and it kind of sat out there, and I don't think it sold very well until we saw some significant price drops. Hopefully they looked at that and they were able to target some things and possibly bring the price of that vehicle down so it was in that area where maybe it's selling more. And at the same time, trying to hit certain price points could also affect what changes that they're willing to make, as cost cutting in design is a thing to try and make these products hit something that looks appealing when sitting on a shelf. I don't think the SMT10 would have been discontinued the last time if it was a big seller either. So hopefully they're looking at things in a slightly different way here to try and keep the sales in a reasonable level. You know, there also could have just been the difference between what Horizon expects for sales and what Great Plains expects for sales. There's a lot of people who've been crying for the return of the SMT10. In reality, is it that many people? Is it enough to actually support that product in the segment? Will we actually see growth and things like that? The appearance of a market that we see on something like Facebook and all of these people doing something doesn't necessarily equate to a large number of real world buyers. So hopefully the product that I'm completely speculating is going to come out based on a couple of tire tracks in an Instagram post is what it is, and is better than the previous version. The more successful solid axle trucks, the better as far as I'm concerned. There's no such thing as enough solid axle vehicles in the RC world. I'll ask you guys a couple of questions to respond to right before you go like and subscribe and put the notification bell on. But did you own the previous SMT10, and are you looking at buying a new one regardless of what the product is? Or is it going to have to hit a, sub $350 price range for you to be interested? Let me know what you guys think on that subject in the comments below. Some of you guys who have been around the hobby for a while or possibly paid attention to the magazines for years may remember the show RCX, which always happened in Southern California and was a huge radio control expo. And it stopped a couple of years ago, but it's returning finally. Now it's going to be back in Southern California again, but it's also going to be brought together with 3 other expos, which I think is best for the show. I don't know that, RC Expo is really enough of a draw to make it an entire event on its own. At least as far as the trends of the, previous years just before it went away, would kind of lead you to believe it just didn't have the draw to support itself. Otherwise it would have stayed around. The 3 other expos that it's joining are the SoCal Drone Fest, the California Outdoor Adventure Expo, and the California Power Sports Expo. So the drone side's another area of the hobby that I don't know is going to be all that much of a draw, but it could, especially in Southern California. And then the 2 outside expos that aren't, necessarily in the radio control area, I think are really good pairings to go along with this one though. A lot of us have interests in both of those areas, and I think that a lot of people that are in those other areas could see a peripheral interest or think these items that they're seeing are cool or interesting, or the best possibility of capturing a customer from outside of the current market and then bringing them in. The event's going to happen April 25th and 26th in Pomona. I do believe that this is an event I'm going to try and make it down to. I think it's a good thing to go down, see what's going on, possibly do a little bit of coverage of it. For those of you that don't know, RCX is organized by the same company that owns RC Car Action. I'll put links to where you can in the description below. Tickets for the Scale Nationals in Las Vegas opened up this week also. So if you were thinking about wanting to go to Scale Nationals in Vegas, might be a good idea to pop over there and pick up tickets. It isn't an event where you can go day of and sign up. So getting on there, trying to get the tickets for the classes that you're interested in would be a good idea. Myself and Matt from the Scale Builders Guild are going to be there, and we're actually going to be emceeing the event together. emceeing an event like that is mainly at the awards and raffle stuff like that, but nonetheless, definitely going to be fun. I do plan to go and compete in all 3 classes there, hopefully, which does mean that I have 3 trucks to build before that event. Definitely going to be a task, especially at the very beginning of the year. Scale Nationals is in March from the 19th to the 21st. Put it on your calendars and make it a trip. It's Vegas anyway. I mean, even if you're not going to go and compete, plan a trip to Vegas and then just stop out and see us on, in between vendors or whatever you're gonna do. There's plenty to do in Vegas. But that's gonna do it for this week. We are fast approaching the Christmas holiday. I'm gonna try and put some stuff together for the last scale news of the year, recapping the year, favorite products. I'm gonna try and put a bunch of stuff together. If you guys have any other ideas or lists or things like that you want me to put together, drop your suggestions in the comments below. Definitely looking for something fun to put together for that last one of the year. And with that, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of the week. Hit the like button if you enjoy these videos, subscribe if you're not already, hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. I appreciate all of you guys who take the time on your Tuesdays to watch these videos and every day that I post a video. I truly appreciate all of you guys. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.